What's up, guys? Well, it's time for some more bug updates. As you can see, we're driving right now. I am on my way to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to try to put a stop to this. So basically where we're at this point is the old owner of the vehicle is refusing to work with me, refusing to talk to me, and says that he'll only talk to me once he has the car in his possession. Well, guys, we all know what that means. That means as soon as he has the car in his possession, he's gone, my motor's gone, and it is what it is. So I'm on my way down to Riverside County Sheriff's Department where he filed the report, and I'm going to go speak to the captain that's on duty right now. I know it's kind of a long drive just to go speak to a captain, but I need to get someone face to face. After that, if nothing happens there, I'm going to head over to a legal office and I'm going to hire an attorney to put a stop to the car being released. So kind of where we're at, to catch you guys up, is the last update you guys saw was that you know, the car was supposedly going to be held in impound until we go see a judge. Unfortunately, I was called back the next day by the Mesa PD, and they told me that the old owner was free to come get the car whenever he wanted to, and just take it, and that I was screwed, and that's it. You know, I don't believe that that's the way this should have went down, or how this is going down is right, and I'm going to do everything in my power to try to stop it. So, like I said, we're headed down to the Sheriff's Department now. I'll keep you guys updated, and we'll go from there. So we'll check back in after we're at the Sheriff's Department. I'll let you guys know what happens. All right, guys, well, here we are. Pulling into the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, Lake Elsinore Division, and we're gonna go in and talk to somebody and see if we can get this worked out. Well, guys, so far so good. I was able to tell them my story. They're trying to get a hold of a watch commander right now to get a watch commander down here so we can go over it, but definitely they're saying that there's something wonky with this story here and what's going on. So let's pray, let's hope for the best, and we'll see what happens, guys. I'll keep you updated. All right, guys, it's update time. So what a long-winded one this is going to be. Let me take a drink first. So spoke to the watch commander at the Sheriff's Department, and basically there's not a whole lot he can do. I got a copy of the police report, and he referred me to the DMV investigations number on there. So apparently this guy has gone through DMV investigations for them to open a case to investigate the issue. So we got the report. We headed over to California DMV investigations office out of Riverside. Shot over there, talked to them. The weird thing is that when they ran the case number, the case came up closed. So it has a Riverside case, an Orange County case, and now an open LA County case. It's mind-boggling here a little bit, but I think we've kind of figured it out. So the Riverside case is closed due to lack of evidence, and he was told it was a civil matter and he would have to sue me. And then he opened one in Orange County. For those of you guys that don't know where Orange County, it's the next county over from Riverside, kind of down by the beach. Orange County closed that case and told him the same thing. It's a civil matter, you're gonna have to sue him and go after him. And now, here we are, January 2nd, I believe, he opened up a new case with LA County DMV investigators. So, reports the car stolen in the beginning of December, and it's just now opening up a case with the LA County DMV investigators. Went to the DMV investigators, and they told me that basically I showed them all the evidence I had and proved that the motor was mine. They believe that I should be able to go to the tow yard and remove my property from that vehicle. So I got the DMV investigator to call the Mesa Police Department officer who impounded the vehicle, who's in charge of releasing it, and let him know that it's okay for me to go to the impound yard and remove my property from that vehicle. And that Mesa officer, he knows what property's mine. He's well versed in what's been going on. So that's where we're at for now, guys. It just sucks that I had to drive all the way to California to try to get this done. And had I not stuck up for myself, who would have stuck up for me? Nobody. This system is horrible, horrible, and it should not work this way. So anyways, guys, that's kind of where we're at. We'll update you again tomorrow if I hear back from the officer, or later tonight, and if we have a date and time to go pick up my motor. So we're back. We got another update last night on the road on the way in, and it turns out that the Mesa Police Department will not release any of my property to me without a court order. Now, to me, that makes 0 sense whatsoever. Riverside reported the car stolen. I've squared all that up. I got the lead DMV investigator to call the Mesa Police Department and tell them that that stuff is my property and it's okay that they release it to me, and now they're saying no. All right, guys, time for another Volkswagen update. I got a lot to talk about when it comes to the Volkswagen, but check this out. We got her back, boys. There's a lot that's gonna go on here in the next couple of days, yeah, we got her back, and she's on her way home. As you can see from the background, I don't know if you can see that, but that's right, boys, we got her back. It's been a long, hard process to get the car back. Turns out that I am the rightful owner of this car at this point in time. Now, was the car taken from the old owner? Yes, I believe it was. And I was given fraudulent paperwork, or I obtained fraudulent paperwork that was inside the car when I bought it. So basically how this is going to work is theoretically I could keep the car. I'm not going to. I'm going to do the right thing. I am going to pull my 2332 turbo motor out of the car. I'm going to put back in the 1835 that was in it when I got it. I'm going to take off everything I've done to the car, basically. I'm just going to take out my battery and a few little things like my boost gauge, you know, little stuff like that. And then I'm going to give this car back to the rightful owner. I just believe in my heart that that's the right thing to do. Being a car guy, if that happened to me, I would hope that someone would do that for me too. So anyways, guys, that's kind of where we're at. I'll have a full update coming up about the whole process and what it took to get this thing back out of the evidence impound. But yeah, boys, we got our motor back, and don't worry, we got another Volkswagen Bug coming to the channel very, very soon. So we'll see you guys when we get back. Wasted no time today. As you can see, the car's gone. I put it out and back. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's sitting pretty high in the back because we went ahead and pulled our motor out of this thing. And like I said earlier, we're going to do the right thing, or what I believe to be the right thing, and we're going to give this car back to the owner. Honestly, I put new window rubber in it. I did a headliner. I worked on the brakes. I did a bunch of work to the car, plus not to mention what I paid for it. But you know, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. We're gonna chalk this one up as a good deed and giving this one back to the rightful owner. So as you can see, the my big motor is sitting here on the floor, my 2332 that came out of that sandrail that was in a couple videos back, or a few videos back. And I do have the old motor that was in the car, and when I get back from Glamis this weekend, I'm going to put it in, and then we'll make arrangements for him to come pick up his car. In the meantime, I kind of want to tell the story a little bit about how all this went down and how all this happened. Sorry, I grabbed the water so I can tell this story. So where I left off in the last video about this car is, I think I left off to where they took the car and then we would have our day in court. Unfortunately, the officer that took the car and told me that misinformed me. There was to be no day in court, and the old owner, from what he told me, was free and clear to come get the car. Even though my property was in the car, he was free and clear to come get it. So it's been about a month now, just under a month since the car's been gone, and I've gone back and forth to California several times to the Department of Motor Vehicles investigators, the Sheriff's Department, talked to sergeants, talked to numerous people that all told me that this was a civil matter and that, you know, I needed to go and sue the guy in court in order to get my motor back. Some of you guys on this channel, you know, that watch my channel know me personally. Some of you don't. A lot of you probably don't, but I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to go and sue somebody over something that we can work out between ourselves. The actual registered owner of the car is a 77-year-old woman from Palmdale, and it's actually the guy's mom who owned the car. So if I was to file suit against them, I would be filing suit against her. And you know, man, I just really didn't want to do that. I had reached out to the guy several times after I got a copy of the police report in Riverside. I found out his name, did a little Google search, got his phone number pretty easily, reached out to him, and didn't really get much of a response from him. So at that point, I was kind of nervous that he was probably just going to take the car and take my motor. So prior to talking to this guy, I didn't know anything about him. So, you know, I could only assume by him not communicating back with me, he just wanted his car, was going to take my motor, and I'd never see or hear from him again. Fortunately, that's not the case. I've actually communicated with him now, and so I'll get to that in a few minutes. So where we're at right now is basically the whole issue is a civil matter. The car, I feel, and a lot of other people feel, that car never should have been reported stolen. It should have been a civil matter. He should have taken me to court. At any point in time, had anyone contacted me and told me the story about this car, I would have given it back instantly, as long as I could get back out of it what was rightfully mine. You know, like I said in my last video, I'm a car guy and I understand car stuff. And if that happened to my car, I'd want, you know, the same thing to happen to me. Unfortunately, in this world, a lot of times that's not what's going to happen. You know, most of the time that's not what's going to happen. You're probably going to deal with someone who's deep money into the car and they're going to fight you every step of the way. I don't want the bad karma. I don't want to, you know, live the rest of my life looking over my shoulder, knowing that I inadvertently did somebody dirty. You know, so I'm going to lose a few grand. I paid $2,000 for the car. I'm a couple thousand into it as well. But I was able to get my motor back, and now we'll get into how. All right, guys, so we're back. I'm going to get into now basically how I got the car back. As a last-ditch effort, I reached out to a detective with the Mesa Police Department. He's an auto theft task force detective. And, you know, that guy really, really, really worked his ass off on this case, trying to figure out what was going on. Once he got a hold of the Riverside case and read it, he figured out that something wasn't quite vibing here, something wasn't right. Guys, I believe this should have been a civil matter from day one. And every deputy, every sheriff, every person I've talked to that has any kind of legal authority whatsoever has all told me the same thing. This issue was a civil matter and I should have been taken to court. My biggest problem with this whole thing right now, and the scariest part of it, was I was subject to a felony stop at any point in time over a signature dispute, over the fact that they say that a signature didn't match the paperwork. The registered owner's signature didn't match the paperwork that I had, the previous registered owner. That's pretty scary. I could have got felony stopped, and, you know, we all know what happens at felony stops. You get guns pointed at you, and there people get heightened emotions, and, you know, it is what it is. I'll just leave it at that. That's kind of what got to me the worst. That was the worst of it for me, is that I could have been felony stopped at any time over a signature dispute, which to me is insane. So anyhow, the Mesa detective really worked hard to get all of this kind of hashed and sorted out. So here's where we're at right now, guys. As you can see earlier in the video, I got the car back. Basically, the way it works is the California DMV investigators have closed all their cases and reported this as a civil matter. So technically, the car never should have been reported stolen. So I think they had to release it. California or Riverside County Sheriff's Department had to remove the DOJ stop from the car. And we were kind of at a stalemate because California DMV investigation said that they won't issue him a title because I'm the current registered owner and I'm the previous registered owner when you do a title search on the car. So, like I said, technically by the letter of the law, I'm the registered owner of that car. So Mesa PD, once the hold's released, they're supposed to release it to the registered owner, which was me. So, working with the detective, and I don't know all of what he did. He did a lot. This guy worked on this case quite a lot. And again, I just want to reach out to you if you're watching this, man. Thank you so much for what you did. Here's where things get kind of weird. I never had any contact with the previous owner up until the point where they were going to release the car to me. And then he reached out, which I'm really glad he did, actually, because we got a lot figured out once we talked to each other. Turns out that the guy, all of my fears and worrying about him taking my motor, I believe that never would have happened. I would have got it back. Eventually, I would have got it back. But, when I don't know who the guy is and he won't talk to me, I just have to automatically assume that he's going to take my motor and I have to protect my investment. So that's what I was working on. Like I said, turns out the guy's a really nice guy, and we actually run in sort of the same circles that just kind of parallel each other. He knows people that I know people that he knows. I've spoken to those people. He's spoken to those people about each other. And the guy's actually a really good, solid dude. However, the car was taken from him has nothing to do with me. I think the car traded 2 or 3 hands before it got to me. I believe that the car was taken from him and it shouldn't have been. But like I said, that's got nothing to do with me here nor there. So where we're at right now, guys, is I got the car back. I wasted no time. I got my motor out of the car. It's sitting under a cover on the side. I've got to go over to the shop and pick up that was in the car. I got it back from the scrapyard. Thank God that they hadn't scrapped the magnesium yet. I got it back. I'm going to put it all back together, and I'm going to put it back in the car, and I'm going to return the car to him. I'm going to order the Arizona title, have him send it to me. I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to give this guy his car back. Do I have to do it? No. Do I want to do it? Absolutely. I think it's the right thing to do. Like I said, I'm not the kind of guy that wants to go through the rest of my life looking over my shoulder and knowing that I inadvertently did somebody dirty. I just don't do that. I don't get down that way. I got a lot of people ask me if I've learned anything from this, and honestly, I got to say no. I've registered a lot of cars like this. A lot of people have registered cars like this all over the country. A lot of cars have been pulled out of fields, and a lot of classic cars. I've sold cars with no titles that I've lost. So it's like, theoretically, could I go back after those cars and say that wasn't my signature? Absolutely, you could. Would I ever do that? Absolutely not. And I don't think anyone else should either. But like I said, guys, at the end of the day, I honestly believe that this car was taken from him wrongfully. And being a car guy, I want him to have his car back. So everything worked out for the best. I got my motor back. Did I buy a theoretically stolen car? I think so. It's just a crappy situation for everybody involved. We're all victims here. We're all losing. He lost his car. I lost countless thousands that I'm in the car, but as long as I could get my motor back, I was happy. So, anyways, guys, that's where we're at. He's going to get his car back. I've already got my motor back. And then I'm going to make arrangements for him to get his car. I talked to him actually again today. He said he was good to go whenever I'm ready. So, yeah, that's where we're at, guys. So, I got my motor back, so I'm stoked. I just want to say, though, there is another Volkswagen coming to the channel. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it right now. What I will say is that it's a Ron Lewis built chassis, street/race car coming my way. So anyways, guys, stick around for that. I appreciate you guys watching. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about bug updates, and that's where we're at, guys. We got it back. I want to say a special thank you to Detective Traw at the Mesa Police Department. He worked his ass off on this for me, and I really appreciate what he did. And I'm not saying he just did it for me. I just met the guy. You know, I just reached out, and I believe he feels that he did what was right. And that's where we're at, man. The old guy's going to get his car back. I got my motor back, and we're going to move forward. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe, and we will get back into the tuning action this weekend.